Hey, how are you guys? Welcome to the clutter free zone. This is amazing. It's an amazing day, isn't it? Wow. So, is it vacation time for you out there? Spring breaking? Any spring? But yeah, and I want to get on here and just talk about the unknown, not being afraid of the unknown. And it has a lot to do with decluttering our minds. And I want to caveat this with saying that I am not a therapist, I am not a coach, and I do not play one on this here channel. But I am just an ordinary person talking about how we can create what I like to call an oasis space. Because our energy is everything. It is everything. So it's important. And I know one of the things that I've been encouraging myself about is not having a fear of the unknown. And it is like a shift or a turn in the atmosphere right now. And I don't know if I think it's a seasonal thing too. I know where I am, it's freezing to me. Look, my body is acclimated to 55 degrees. I don't know about yours, with no wind. Okay, I'm about ready for winter to be over, even though it comes the same time every single year. Every single year, without a doubt. But yeah, but I know that being afraid of the unknown is you can't be afraid of it. Anything that you want to change in your life, just do it. Just do it, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a project, a hobby, anything that no longer serves you and you enjoy, just let it go. Just let it go. And sometimes the things that we let go, other people, they may not they may not agree with our decisions, or they may be projecting their fears on you because it's something that they kind of maybe wish they want to do, but then they're just maybe a little frazzled because they don't have they don't have the courage to do it yet, or whatever other circumstances. But the thing is, don't be afraid that it is that you don't want to do anymore. Just leave it behind and start something new, fresh, because it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. And when you decide to finally let go of those things that are you don't enjoy or whatnot, you won't have any regrets. I mean, I know I've let go of some stuff that it's just I feel such a relief, and I'm not ashamed or afraid to say, you know what, I'm done with that thing. That thing was then, and this is now. I'm done with all that. I'm done with all that. And it gets frustrating when it's something that you think that is totally outside of your control. It gets frustrating, but everything in life, everything in our lives, we have full control of it, right? We do. We have full control, and we don't have to just sit back and let life be life, because life will life, but you know what I mean. You have more control than you think you have over your life to be able to let go of the things that don't serve you well. And it can bring a lot of emotions, but you got to learn to control your emotions. And like I say, I'm not a therapist, but I'm just talking from just living life and from a practical standpoint. It's just we got to make sure that we just keep living and enjoying our lives and in whatever it is, whatever we choose to do. So, but when we do make transitions into the unknown, we want to make sure that it's stress free. It's as stress free as possible. It's not to say that stressors, those things that cause stress, will not come, but we really, there are ways to relieve the stress for sure, for sure. And that way we can have a sense of peace about what it is that we choose to do and whatnot. So it helps. And it helps with flexibility too, being flexible with anything in our lives. So be open, be open, be open, let go of the fear. Don't let unknown, uncontrollable factors get in the way of you achieving your goal or achieving your dream. Because I remember reading, and I've read this book twice, The Five Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware. Is it Bronnie Ware or Bonnie Ware? I think it's Bronnie Ware. But she was is an author who she was in hospice care, and she took a lot care of a lot of different age groups during this time. And she talks about how people in hospice from very young ages, like in their 20s, all the way up to like 99, I think it is. But it's a wide range of age group. And it's a wide age range of people who told their stories and how they regretted not doing the things that they wanted to do out of maybe fear of the unknown or being afraid of what somebody would say. And that's not a great way to live our lives. It just isn't. And I think we can my cat's moving things. If the camera shakes a little, it's cat. Come on. You want to come? Mm. You'll see Buddy one of these days, and I think he was in a couple of videos back. But hold on. Okay, it's all right. Where was I? But yeah, it's and also yeah. So back to the five regrets of the dying, but it's so important to just let go of whatever doesn't serve you, and also go ahead and be fearless. Do it afraid. Do it afraid, because I know so many times, and there's so much information out there, and there's good information out there too about being fearless. And y- you're gonna do things with fear. Just admit it that you're gonna do it, but you do it anyway. Like for example, going on this live. This is my first time going live on YouTube. Am I afraid? A little bit, but being afraid a lot of times is just being uncomfortable. You're uncomfortable with the unknowns. It goes back to that unknown. So we want to make sure that we're comfortable. We're comfortable with being uncomfortable. Even though I'm gonna contradict myself here, but you know, sometimes I don't like being outside of my comfort zone. I don't know about you. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Put me in my comfort zone because it's warm, warm there. I prefer it. I prefer to be in my oasis space in my comfort zone. Yeah. So, but yeah, but living life without any regrets, and just making sure that we get other people's ideas, opinions, and just running their mouths. Just kind of like get a little screen. Like, you know how you have a screen on a door? Just like put a little imaginary screen up when they start talking and just be like, you know what? No. Mm-mm. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what we'll see. Put one foot in front of the other, and it'll because we don't come in this world knowing. So if we don't come in this world knowing, we come here like there's a saying that my parents used to always say, "You didn't come here as a mushroom. You didn't come here as a mushroom. You came here as a baby. There's no handbook." So we learn, put one foot in front of the other and keep it moving. But yeah, so I think a lot of times, being in a clutter-free zone is is important. And clutter-free is more being clutter-free is more than just about space. It also has a lot to do with your mind. It has a lot to do with your soul. It has a lot to do with your heart. It has a lot to do with those matters. It really does. Because a cluttered mind, it leads to not being able to think clearly. It really does. And I love reading lots of articles from published by Very Well Mind. And there's actually a podcast, a Very Well Mind podcast that is out there if you're a podcast listener. And it has all kinds of strategies on how to deal with your mental space. And like I say, I'm not a therapist or a psychologist, but there's a lot of different ways that you can deal with your mental space. And being clutter free is actually one of the keys to doing that. It really is because it's a lot going on in this world. It really is. It's a lot going on in this country. Woo, it's a lot going on. We got an election coming up. And that's another thing too. And I think I'm definitely going to have somebody on to speak on how to deal with that because it's so much, when so much information is coming at you all different directions and you got to filter that out. What do you do? Now, one of the things I've done for a long time is I have a set aside time where I read up on once a week on business publications. I read up on once a week. I have I have it in my Feedly app and I just have my reading list that I have to go through once a week. And I read, go and I bookmark the articles that are I would like to read, and then I set them aside. But I know there's still stuff that comes at you through these social media streets too. But that goes along with digital decluttering. I have a set time block where when I'm on a lot of the apps, right on the phone, it'll tell me, oh no, you have this much time. You only got 15 minutes. Oh, you only have 10 minutes. Oh, you only have 5 minutes. Now I could choose to ignore it because these tools are only going to work. And I know I'm transitioning a lot, but it's okay. You hear we live in a living color, 1 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, 2 p.m. rather. But I think it's so important to just if in order for the apps to work, you're going to have to be in control. It's only as good as what you make up in your mind to do. So whenever I have it to where I'm on TikTok or Instagram or whatnot for too long, it'll give me a timer. I could choose to ignore it, or I could say, "Oh, just 5 more minutes." 5 more minutes. But yeah, so that goes along with everything in our lives. So We just get so attached to getting too much information too, and that could be cause us to go into information overload, and we have to really know how to filter that out because it's important. It's important. So we got to make sure that we preserve as much as possible our peace, protect ourselves, because yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, yeah. So yeah, I would just say anything that is unknown, just keep it moving. Keep it moving because life is always going to be life, and it really is. And being that things are going to test us, you're already gonna get it. You're already gonna get the regular stresses of life. So it's best not to add on to it and enjoy your life. Enjoy everyday life. And that's what brings me back to last post that I put up about conquering the post vacation blues. It's important to take time off. And you don't necessarily have to go to some far off place, but you can be right where you are, a staycation. And I think I mentioned this in the last video where I saw a TikTok where a woman shut down her computer for the day, and she had her suitcase packed up, rolled that thing to the other room, and she had all her trees, her greenery and everything in there. And I thought it was so cute. And that's what we all can do. You can take a mental break too. Daydream. That's what I do. I daydream. And that's where a lot of the ideas come from too. And showering also. Because boy, oh my gosh. Showers? Yeah. I can create a whole narrative in the shower, decluttering all of my thoughts. But yeah, there's release all of that fear and anxiety that chooses to pop up because you gotta leave you gotta leave it behind. You do. You really do. You really do. But yeah. So and be okay with being okay about the uncertainties as you transition into whatever it is. Because think about how many times uh, think about how many times you transition in school. Nothing is permanent. That's my whole mantra now. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. And that's where being flexible comes in at. Nothing is permanent. And you don't have to stay the way you are. You don't have to, you can be somebody else. You don't have to be somebody else. What I mean is you can, you don't have to stay stuck. And I know there are circumstances, and these are outliers, and I know circumstances that sometimes we can't get out of, maybe because of systemic issue whatnot. But aside from all of that, it's like you can get unstuck. You can get unstuck. Everything is figure outable. Thank you, Maria Forleo. I think that's her name, the author of the book Everything's Figure Outable. That was a game changer for me, and I often say it. Everything is figure outable, and like I say, nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. So, like I say, with that comparison of imagine yourself changing school, you went from maybe preschool to elementary school to high school. you're always transitioning. You went from grade to grade to grade. You didn't stay in the same place. You didn't stay there. You didn't stay stagnant. As human being, as a whole, human beings, we are constantly evolving. Constantly. So everything is temporary, nothing is permanent. And when I kept repeating that to myself, that's how I became more flexible, especially about uncertainty, especially if I didn't no longer wanted to do what served me. Because there's always something better, or there's always something to replace it, to replace that thing. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, and it's good to be open. It's good to be open because you never know what's out there for you until you step out. You never know. You just never know what's out there until you make that step. When you make a step, it'll work out. Yeah, I know. You just never know what's gonna happen. So, and I think sometimes we stay stuck in the past too. We get attached. Well, this worked last time. Well, it's not working anymore because of changing circumstances, external or even internal. You change, you grow. So we have to detach ourselves from the past and embrace this present moment. Be excited about the future. And if you feel that you don't have anything to get excited about, express gratitude, express being thankful. And when I say that, I'm saying not being thankful relative to somebody else, because one of the things that I got away from was saying, oh, you know what? I'm thankful because there's somebody less fortunate than me. There's somebody that's worse off than me. No, I learned to be thankful for the sake of being thankful. I'm thankful for the uncertainty. I'm thankful. And when I say this, I'm not saying that we don't crave security. Of course we do. Because I'm excluding anything that will be harmful to us. But uncertainty as far as, taking risks, like, moving someplace different, or getting a new job, or getting a new relationship even. And I'm not just talking about romantic relationships too, because we always equate that with uh, romanticism. But I'm talking even friendships, even going to a new restaurant, shoot. Something as simple as that. But I think it's so important to make sure that we're thankful for the sake of being thankful. Like, I'm thankful for the sunrise. I'm thankful that I get to see this movie today, or I'm thankful that I got these gym shoes. I'm thankful that for this lovely, warm, and chocolate chip cookie straight from the oven. Those types of things. I don't like to do it relative to somebody else, relative to somebody else. And when I caught hold of that, when I started doing that, I felt so much better, so much better. And getting unstuck from those types of things really, it really does make a difference. It really does. No, 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 no. Stop. So when we think of that in terms of, when we think of like just shifting, we're constantly shifting. We're constantly shifting. All I know is I know I need to get a better camera. My goodness. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing like pixelating and all that kind of thing. But yeah. Oh, let's see. I got a few more minutes. But yeah, but I am so happy that I could share my thoughts on going against the unknown, just not being afraid of uncertainty and the unknown. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to let go of what is not bringing you joy. And I know that is trite, but it's so true. And I came across a quote reading that said, "Peace is where I find peace is where I found home." It was something like that. And I said, you know what? That's so true. It is so, so true. And when you have peace, you have peace, joy will follow. And in those uncertain times, you'll be fine. You won't have to you won't be stressing out, getting ulcers, getting headaches, and all of that because you got to enjoy your life. You have to. We only have one. And I'm not saying, like I say, anything that to promote to that would produce harm to others or whatnot, nothing like that. But live your life. Live your life. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your vacation. Enjoy time with those who are important to you so you can enjoy. But yeah, but I'm gonna get out of here. I will see you on the next live stream. But until then, I'm gonna post another video soon. And so, and if you're not subscribed already to this channel, please subscribe. Or if you're not necessarily a YouTube watcher, you can always subscribe to the Declutter Empress Radio podcast to get more tips, practical tips, easy to apply tips. It's short, it's not a long, drawn out conversation. These are tips to help you to create your oasis space. All right. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.